What's going on, guys? Welcome back here to another Z Trade video. I actually wanted to do this video here in regards of just kind of showing you guys different kind of market patterns that we actually ran into this week alone. Last week and the week before last, we had a little bit of a slow week, but there was still great opportunity with inside of the market. And what I wanted to show you guys is pretty much how to actually trade during those different times of the markets that you actually see, especially like, one of the main topic is for today is consolidating. When we're consolidating or just kind of spotting out those good particular setups to actually trade, that way you're not stuck inside of a sideways market or just kind of taking setups that are not really necessarily geared towards a great setup. Now I get a lot of questions on how do you know when the best setup is to take in the market, or necessarily when the best time to trade the particular market. And a lot of that comes from, it all boils down to your strategy. Okay, now those of you that are inside of the actual Z Trade program, you guys know that based off of our strategy, that we only look for clear-cut, cold, crystal setups alone. And if we don't have those particular setups, even if it shows a setup and it doesn't confirm on one of our confirmations here, we all know, particularly that we can't actually deal with that particular setup alone. We're either going to wait till the next particular setup forms, or you're just going to be taking a trade based off of that high risk at that time. Now, let's go ahead and boil it down to, so here's actually one of them. This is something that actually just happened here yesterday in our markets on Friday, where we got a setup later on in the actual day here alone. Now the thing is, I'm not going to get too in detail or too in depth on this video here. That's going to be another video we're going to pretty much drop here on our YouTube here. But mainly the main focus is just kind of, you can kind of see I have the highlighted areas here in general. Now a lot of you guys will pick up on this because of the fact that, again, trading in the consolidation market is something you want to avoid. But those that are inside of the program, you're going to already see and spot out these levels where it would have been the best time to really necessarily buy in at. Okay, and that's going to boil down to here. So again, this is a recent trade that just happened yesterday, to where right here we see the market pretty much decided to push all the way up. Okay, so the market for yesterday on Friday happened to close at 9586.75. okay, now with that being said, okay, we can see like right before this like run up here, we had it to where the market went sideways already. So if I bring it back to that particular time that we were seeing on Friday, okay, I'm going to bring it back to about 12 p.m. here. Okay, so at 12 p.m. on Friday morning or Friday afternoon, we see that Thursday afternoon, we get a long drawdown on a red candle, where we started to dip and started to see a lot of that consolidation movement upon this actual market, all the way going into about Friday at 12 p.m. Okay, now all of this here is something that you want to avoid. Like, yes, we get, we got a down signal. Yes, we, seen a little bit of consolidation, to where for the most part, especially if you're using like a crossover move, where it decides to drop down, and for the most part, most people would actually sell it at that particular point. Okay, but what you have to realize is this too, even going back into this, you can't look at just this entire picture over here without looking at the entire chart alone. And that's like one of the main things that a lot of people overlook, because of the fact that like I said, going back into this and then going back into this setup here, you have to realize what it actually hit. So we're actually touching into a previous resistance here that caused this to kind of go sideways. But not only that, this is also going to boil down to like going into different time frames and to necessarily like look into where your next previous support is sitting at. Okay, and those of you that know, I'm very strong on these levels, because using it with our actual strategy, this is going to be a big major effect. I talk about it in one of my past videos on YouTube as well. You guys can actually check that out. It'll be in the link down in the description. But going into this here, we get a crossover move. We start to see this consolidating, going back up, originally going into where it created a high. And remember, guys, when these highs are created, it's only being created based off of a previous high that's also been made. And if we take a look back, we have one here, and again, we broke it as far as like going past it, but we're still closed and open at the same high, which is sitting over in this area here. So yes, it may have touched the wick. We came and retested that area here and dropped down and did the same thing, coming down to a support area, to where that support came down to this support came down to this support, and this support also retested the wick, which is sitting right here, which I classify as a support too. Okay, now if I fast forward this market to where we're currently sitting at, to where the market actually came up and actually broke not only this resistance but this resistance here, we can see that these two resistances from here, whoops, to here, that these are two separate resistances that you're looking at, right? But one of the main rules is when you see two or more resistances touch that same area, this is what we're going to be called and classified as a breakout level. Okay, now again, these are very important because it doesn't matter what strategy at this point that you're looking at. When these actually form, they're actually going to literally break through, and you're going to expect it to push up higher and then react to another level that we already have tested at. Okay, now again, this is one of our levels sitting here. Okay, buying at this level. So let's say that when we did actually push past the actual previous resistance level, right, and we actually ended up going up even more. Again, when this pushed past two resistance levels, because we was already expecting it to push past based off of two past previous levels, once that pushed past, and let's say you did actually happen to get in once it pushed past on this particular candle, right? And those of you know that we'll be entering in, once this candle actually is pretty much solidified on where it wants to, or not where, but what it wants to do. Of course, with our confirmations that we have down here below, we have our CCI that we're going to be doing a lot of confirmations on. We have the MACD that we're also going to be dealing with as well. So once this actually pretty much deals with that particular two breakout levels, and we buy at this particular candle, remember, this is going to be your live candle that you're looking at the moment. So when we buy at that particular candle, we're expecting a push up past the previous two resistances, expecting it to go to the next resistance. And if that does break, again, you're going to be expecting the very next high, which is going to lead this high here. And that's why you guys see so many lines on my charts, because of the fact that, again, I'm expecting each one of these levels to break. Now, let's flip cases here for a second. Same thing would necessarily happen to where how we expected the top to break, we'll expect the bottom to break. So again, we were dipping in the consolidation area. So even dealing with that here alone, we had a support come down, we had another support come down, support coming back to a previous level that was tested, and then a very next support coming down here. So again, if the market was to push back down, we're going to expect this entire area to break here because it hit more than one time. And because we actually waited for it to hit more than one time, that's going to actually look to go down and break this level once again down into that very, very, very next area alone on what we're actually looking for. Okay, and that's going to be around 933.39.66. Again, guys, this is live, so again, you can literally watch this level, because by the time by the time the market opens back up, I say around maybe Sunday or Monday, if it doesn't continue to push up, it's definitely for sure going to actually reach this level. And then that leads from this level of our support down to our very, very next level, which is around 9,200 area. Okay, now again, like I said in the beginning of this video, these levels are extremely important because this is what we necessarily look for the market to actually reach. These are what we call necessarily key turning points in general on what we're actually looking for. Okay, all right, so I'm going to show you guys another setup here, particularly before I do actually go ahead and end the process with this video. We've seen that same instance happen here with Dow Jones. Now, for those of you who know, I do trade a lot of Dow Jones, I trade a lot of Nasdaq, oil, I trade gold, and also platinum. Those are like my top markets that I'm actually trading right now. So again, these can be used in these avenues on what we're actually expecting. Same thing happened here once again. Market actually trended down. Again, this is live from Friday's market. We came down to a support area here. We see the market decided to turn. We had a little bit of a wick drop down to about 24,980. Okay, and then it pushed back up. Again, these are all not marking, but these are all reacting based off of previous levels that we actually see here at 25,069. Okay, and that's this previous support level, which also led into another possible level. And again, because there are two or more support levels, that's when we're necessarily going to be looking for these to actually break. Okay, now mark my words when I say this, if we do happen to reach back down at this price level, this level is going to break. And that's why you see me have labels of breakout levels. For those of you that are inside of the Z Trade group, you guys know that we trade a lot of these here. Okay, now of course with our strategy, but we use our strategy in accordance to the actual breakout level, again, because it's helping us scale our profits and helping us know where the market is actually either going to turn at and or possibly further movement in that direction, on whether it's a buy signal going up, whether it's a selling signal going downward. Okay, vice versa, going on the upper side, we see that the market actually changed trends and changed gears here to where when we had that push up, okay, again, we had a little bit of a high of resistances here, which is why you're seeing this further push up move. And again, I can label and show you guys here. Here's a high right here, and then here's another high right here up in this area here. Okay, and that's why you see on Friday where the market stopped at, which was the previous high that was higher than these two levels here. Okay, so let me go ahead and mark these up right here. Okay, now guys, I'm giving you guys literally the secrets on how I'm literally trading step by step, on what levels and where the key turning points are that I'm actually looking at. Okay, so once again, as the market decides to push up, we're going to expect the market to literally go up to that very next high. Okay, again, market patterns repeat itself. Okay, so if we're expecting the market to literally push up, it has to have a turning point somewhere along the way for it to actually push and return back to that other direction that we were looking for it to go. Okay, now again, these are live markups. Once again, because we now created a third level from that breakout, even going to the downside. So we have one here. Okay, here's another one here. I'm going to draw another line so we can see this all the way over here. Again, still leading at that same line, which is why you see a line going all the way across, which is still leading into a breakout level. Okay, now once the market gets back down to about 25,063, we're going to expect that to push down further, again, because market patterns repeat itself. Okay, all right guys, so that's just a little bit of what I wanted to show you guys as far as like how to actually market charts up, some of the secrets that some of you guys may or may not know, especially if you're not in the Z-Trade program. I highly recommend you guys get inside of the Z-Trade program. Those that are inside of the Z-Trade program, what we actually do is we necessarily make sure that we focus mainly on, one of the key levels is these breakout levels after we know where to actually buy in at of the market. Okay, so hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Put down any suggestions that you guys want me to actually review on the next video. We're going to try to make this thing a weekly, if not every 2 days, where a video pretty much drops on YouTube. Again, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Share this video if you guys think that this is a great video. And also comment, like I said, your ideas that you want me to review. I'll definitely go over them, even if you want me to go over certain market setups in regards of the pairs that you're actually trading. Alrighty guys, see you guys in the next video.